Joining us now are jurors James Murdaugh, Gwen Jenneret, and Amy Williams. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here after an ordeal, a 6-week ordeal. You did your jury service, your civic duty. You're here this morning. How does it feel when you realize all of the attention? You knew it was a high-profile case. Did you understand how many people across the country were watching this?
I don't think it ever really, hit that it would be this big.
Yeah. How do you guys feel?
The same.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be this big.
Me either.
When you saw the cameras outside the courtroom, though, I mean...
But that's when I realized this is a big ordeal, yeah.
What have people said to you just in the last few days? It's a small town. I mean, did they realize, oh, you guys have been on the jury? Have you heard anything? What is the reaction you've heard?
So I think that, it kind of spread pretty quickly. So I think that a lot of my friends were very respectful. They didn't try to reach out. They didn't want to talk about the case because they knew I couldn't. Yeah. So I think afterwards, as soon as the verdict came out, everybody was kind of sending me messages like,
what's going on?
Yeah.
A lot has been made over the past few days about the speed with which you guys came back with that verdict. Take us inside the deliberation room. As I understand it, not everyone initially thought he was guilty. Is that right?
Correct. That's correct.
Yeah, so throughout the case, a lot of people had talked about how we didn't have a notepad in the jury room, but we weren't able to have it in the courtroom, but we did have them in the jury room. So a lot of people would write down questions as we, went back during break. So I think that kind of made the deliberation a little bit more efficient. Everybody knew the questions they had. We were able to get through them quickly.
Yeah. Let's talk about the case a little bit. Everybody wants to know what you think. What, for you, was the critical piece or pieces of evidence, Amy, I'll ask you first, that made you feel confident that this guilty verdict was the right one?
Well, the witness testimony was very believable, and the kennel video definitely played a major part, and his testimony.
Yeah.
Yes.
Murdaugh's testimony.
Yes.
What about when there was throughout the trial, there were a lot of witnesses saying, that's him, that's his voice. When he got on the stand, Gwen, and said, yeah, that was me. What did you think? How did that strike you?
Well, first of all, I couldn't believe that he was taking the stand. And when he got on the stand, I was like, okay. So it was him. I don't know him, so I never, knew his voice, but I realized it was him. And in the kennel video, that just kind of sealed the deal.
Do you think he should have taken the stand?
No.
What about you, Amy?
No.
He didn't help himself?
No.
If I was him, I don't think I would have, but I think that he believes that he's so convincing that he felt like that was his, last resort.
The financial crimes, when the state introduced all of that evidence about the past financial crimes and the money he'd stolen from clients, the money he'd stolen from the firm as well, did that impact your decision at all? Did that make a difference?
Well, we could only consider it as part of the motive. It helped showing that he was very convincing and manipulative, and so it made sense.
Let's talk about his testimony a little bit more, because he was very emotional. People watching from the outside thought, maybe this will be compelling to jurors. Did you believe him? Did you believe his tears? Did you think he was crying? Some other jurors have said they didn't buy it. What, you're shaking your head.
No, I didn't think he was crying. He turned it on and off. Yeah, it wasn't genuine.
Do you think he hurt himself by taking the stand? Did he make it worse?
I think he did.
Yes.
Why?
I just think that, we already know that he's a lawyer. He's able to be emotional with cases. He's able to be emotional with himself. He knows, like what she said, when to turn it on and off. So I think that we were kind of able to read right through that.
After sitting there for several weeks, and again, the state didn't have to prove a motive, do either of you have any idea of perhaps why he did it?
I don't know if we'll ever know. I think it may have been a combination of things, not just the financial, but everything was weighing heavy on him, I believe.
Gwen, what do you think?
I think it was, he wanted to have control of everything, and his wife owned the majority of the things that they owned. He had some thinking it was more like greed. And being in control.
I think the prosecution had a very good point. It's a storm.
Yes.
At points in time, the defense would take one aspect and be like, it couldn't have been this. And it may not have been that one singular thing, but there's so many things there that contribute to that overall storm that I think it played a part.
They had you guys go and visit the scene, Moselle, this estate where the crimes took place. Was that worth your time? Was that worthwhile? Did you learn anything from that, James?
Yeah, I think that we were, throughout the case, you kind of see pictures and stuff, but until you get out there, you're not able to really see how everything plays a part. There were a few things that I made mental notes of that I wanted to check out if we did go out there, and I was able to, take a look at that.
What about you, Gwen?
Same here. I wanted to see how big that feed room was, and it was very tiny in person. And I also wanted to see if you could see down there to the feed room and kennels from the house, and you could.
I know two of you went back the next day after the verdict. You went back for the sentencing. Why was it important for you, the two of you, to be there for that part of it?
Just to see it through to the end.
James?
Just like what she said, we spend 6 weeks there, we bond, we're a very close-knit jury at that point in time. So it was important for us to go back and kind of, see it to the end. We had just decided what the verdict was going to be. We at least wanted to see it to the end, see what the sentencing would be.
Well, I mentioned that you did your civic duty. You're wearing your Constitution tie. It is a lot that we ask of our fellow citizens to sit in judgment of another. It's not easy. It's a great sacrifice in every way. So thank you for being here and spending a little time with us in a case that's gotten a lot of interest.
Yes.
And thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.